Great morning, great morning, great morning. You guys come on in, come on in.
Oh my God, don't start it. Don't. It's too early. You don't even have any Kleenex in here, Dr. V. Come on. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Yes, I'm ready to be looking.
Don't.
Here she go.
Oh, now don't get the heebie-jeebies now. That just makes it even worse. Y'all come in here and help me because Dr. V is sick. I'm trying to keep my composure. I'm trying not to, because I was literally about to cry yesterday. You don't even know. I was in the room and okay. We got to do this drive-by.
Hey, Charla.
Hey, good morning.
You see my face?
Oh, my God. I cannot. Dr. V. Oh, my goodness. Come on, you know how easy it is for me to cry. Don't ask.
Okay. Almost.
Oh, my goodness. Charlotte, will you please get her? I don't want to go either, but I must. Oh my God.
I'm not gonna cry. I'm not gonna say I'm not gonna cry. I'm not gonna cry. I'm not gonna shed no tears. No, I'm not gonna cry. No, not today. Even though you're worth my tears.
Is that the? Those are not the words.
It's the words of this situation.
Oh, Dr. V.
Charlie said, don't be sad. We are going on a trip soon.
Yes.
Grown sister squad. Come on, somebody. You right. I'm going to try not.
Oh, my goodness. I'm glad I had a paper towel in my little shot glass. Because I just can't. Anyway, come on, talk about
Where y'all at? Where you at? Y'all share the broadcast. Share the broadcast so we can get some people on the line. I have some things that I'd like to say. Some things that I want to share with the people of God. I don't know, something's going on with this. I don't like that thing. What is this layout thing doing? Jesus. If you only knew. What is going on with this layout? I don't know why it's doing that. That's not normal. It must have something to do with the settings. Hey, Christina. Hey, Mike. Y'all hold on a second. Let me get my camera together, honey. Well, that's it, April. But I don't know why it's looking like that.
Can you look at me?
Oh, crop it. I don't want it cropped. Oh, that's why. Hey, that's better. We're closer now, aren't we? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So y'all can see my face.
It's a sad day in the Johnson household. Today, I take my leave this evening going back to Texas.
Oh my goodness. Oh my baby, you got a headache? Okay, let's get. I'm gonna get started. Let me share. Y'all go on and share the broadcast. Share the broadcast. I'm sad. I'm trying to maintain my composure in the midst of this challenging time. And I'm struggling right now. I would be lying if I said otherwise. I'm having a little struggle right now. Hey, Jackie, North Carolina in the building.
Jackie, can we order?
Can you hear me? I got you, babe. You got to come get the first shot. You know, I got some stuff going on with my lip. So come on, baby, and get your shot.
Shake, shake, shake. Shake, shake, shake. Shake your alive.
Oh, God. That ain't the words.
Well,
we have licensing.
I can't say.
Shake your booty.
Yeah.
What?
Because this isn't that kind of party in here today.
It's always a booty shaking day. At the Johnson house. Booty shake.
This is why I'm getting the heck up out of here today. This is why I'm leaving.
Come on, give me your shot glass, man. Babe, where you at?
He said taking a nap.
Oh my God, you slept last night. I'm dropped. Y'all, I'm not gonna do it.
These drops, you can't.
I'm not gonna do it. Let me just have this little corner right here, because you know everything in me.
Really?
Yep. Wanna just
lick that off the table?
Not lick it out, but just
swoop it up.
April, here's to an absolutely an amazing visit, trip, sister time. Thank you for everything you do, for everything that you are. Cheers. We alive. Woo! All right. All right. All right. Good morning, Evelyn. So listen, today is April's last day. But we're not going to dwell on that, because this is the first of many visits. He's talking about we've been alive. This is the first of many visits. So, you know, I'm just looking forward to it. I feel like we initiated the house this week and this weekend with you, with Whitfield, with everybody just being here and just having a great time. It was an amazing experience. And I'm so glad that I just was obedient and did the I'm Alive conference. And I'm so glad that y'all were obedient and came. Y'all listen, we've been talking about obedience a lot, but there's something that I need you to understand. Obedience is literally the key that unlocks so many of God's promises. And God desires to do some amazing things for us, but he needs our obedience. Today I'm talking about don't let overwhelm overtake you. Don't let overwhelm overtake you. God has been talking to me about overwhelm, because I noticed that some things happen when I get overwhelmed. When I get overwhelmed, I won't start. When I get overwhelmed, I won't keep going. When I get overwhelmed, it makes me want to lay down and just go back to sleep when I get overwhelmed. But do you know that overwhelm can show up from a result of good things and things that you perceive as not so good? It doesn't matter where it's coming from. The key is you feel as though it is going over you. It is going over you, right? So don't let the overwhelm overtake you. And I'll be honest, overwhelm had begun to overtake me. And I had to get myself together, and I'm still working on it. It's not totally done. But God said, listen, daughter, I need you to understand that I can't afford for you to be overwhelmed, because I still have things for you to do. See, it's overwhelming to think of angel number 111, April leaving. I feel overwhelmed by that. I feel overwhelmed with emotion. I feel emotions rising up inside of me. I feel sadness rising up. You know, and as much as I've enjoyed this time, the joy of the time can be overwhelmed and overtaken by the thought of her leaving. See, look, we got to understand that everything in life is about perspective. It's about how you look at it. Why should I be overwhelmed with sadness because she's leaving instead of focusing on the joy that we've had with her being here? It's all a matter of what we look at, what we focus on. Why should I be overwhelmed with the assignments that I got to do when I know that I just got to get them done? Well, see, overwhelmed is a friend and a kindred to avoider, right? If you have any avoidance tendencies, overwhelm is something that adds to your avoidance. so I'm overwhelmed, so I can't do it. I'm overwhelmed, so I can't face it. I'm overwhelmed, so I don't want to look at it. I don't want to see it. I don't want to hear about it. I don't want to deal with it. But at the end of the day, what overtakes overwhelm is actually just doing it. It's facing it. It's acknowledging what you feel. So let me just publicly acknowledge what I feel right now. April, I have so greatly enjoyed your presence. I've enjoyed you being here, even though we didn't do none of the stuff
that we plan to do.
Zero.
None of it.
None of the stuff that we planned to do. We did everything that we were supposed to do. Mm-hmm. So thank you for coming, for being willing to come to help me. Even though we didn't do what we thought we were going to do, we did what God needed us to do. And that was have some bonding time, just be in each other's presence. Listen, we weren't even always in the same room, but it was the fact that I knew she was in the house. I knew, listen, I could be in my office, she could be in the living room, or she could be in the bedroom. It didn't matter. I knew she was here, right? And so thank you for being obedient. Thank you for coming. Thank you for being my sister. Thank you for pouring into the vision that God has given me. Thank you for coming alongside of us and loving us, not just me, but loving us. How many of you know that sometimes people can love you, but not love your mate? You know, listen, it's a balancing act, y'all. It's a balancing act. But this is what I know. I know that I have a sister friend for life.
Absolutely.
Nothing. Me and you must never part. Color Purple. Go see it on Broadway. The new movie is coming soon. But yeah, I just wanted to tell you that I want you to know that I appreciate you.
I love you. Tim, I love you too. You have treated me very well, and I've been watching how you treat your wife, and that's how I want to be treated too, and I appreciate it. And for y'all opening your home, and for you listening to God, to have me to come and everything that took place. Like you said, we didn't do what we had planned to do, and I was about to get upset about that, but when I look at the week and what took place, we did what we were supposed to do. So I am excited about that. It has been a phenomenal week. I have been blessed tremendously. And although it is difficult for me to go, I got something to do.
She got something to do, y'all.
What is it?
No, I'm just telling y'all. She got something to do.
I know what God told me Saturday at the service, after the service, when he replayed the service. So I know that there's something that he has. So I have to, if I keep staying here, then I can't do it.
Well, I'm excited. I'm excited for you. And y'all listen, this is a friendship tip, okay? You want friends in your life who want to see you do what God has for you to do. You know, who are not selfish and just want to keep you, because I really just want to be like, look, you and Ariel could just.
And Ariel would love
She would love that.
Oh my
That's my baby. That's my baby.
To be with Dr. V every day.
To hear me say, hey, Ariel. Hey, my little mermaid. She just smiles. Oh, that's my baby. That's my baby. Y'all listen, we just find ourselves often in a place where we just get overwhelmed by life. Thank you, Vantale. Hey, Lonnie. Oh my
God, Lonnie, thank you so much. He was one of the musicians Saturday night at the service. We rehearsed 2 days.
Yes.
And he played.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
And Lonnie, the video I sent it to you, Angel number 144, because remember when I told y'all, I said your season of loss is over? That this is no longer a season of subtraction and addition, but this is a season of multiplication. I sent you that video because I promise you, Jamal Bryant said the exact same thing yesterday.
Yes, he did.
Exact same thing. Exact
Yep.
Exact same thing. And I need y'all to catch this. Look, sometimes God will give somebody a word. It's really a word that anybody can grab hold to, right? So I know I grabbed hold to that, right? My season of addition, my season of subtraction is over. That this is a season of multiplication. God is going to multiply everything that you put your hands to. So be careful what you put your hands to. Make a conscious decision about that. But Lonnie, I appreciate you guys so much. The love is real, real, real. And y'all, I'm going to tell y'all, people don't have to be nice to you. They don't. Listen, musicians always can have stuff to do. And this was so freaking last minute. So last minute. I'm like,
and he did not do it with an attitude. He was happy to do it.
Did not.
No.
Listen, make sure we had plenty of microphones.
He did.
Make sure we had a rehearsal space. Make sure we had, listen.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm telling y'all, this season, I need somebody to catch this. In this season, God is sending people who aren't going to tolerate you, but they're going to celebrate you. They're not just going to watch you. They're going to lock arms with you. They're people that God is assigning to your life, to your vision, and to your mandate. And when you identify those people, you pour into those people. You sow into those people. And you don't sow into them for them to do. You sow into them because you know you've got an unctioning in your spirit that there's something special about them. See, listen, my connection with Lonnie and, oh my God, Emmanuel didn't start there. It started when I first went to the church. It started when I first went there, when I saw the prophet in Lonnie, while he just sitting over there trying to just be on the keyboard. Prophet, arise. Listen, see, this is why you can't not be obedient to the Spirit of God, prophets. Those of you who carry a prophetic mandate, you cannot any longer sit on the prophetic giftings that God has given you, because they are not for you. They are for the body, the edification and the upbuilding of the body. You don't know who stands in desperate need of what it is that you have to say to them. You don't know. But God cannot do, angel number 155, what he desires to do without you. Now he can, but that's not what he wants to do. Right. There's a reason he deposits the word in your... See, I'm real sensitive to the voice of God, right? I'm real sensitive to the unctioning of God. And I'm going to do what God says do, and I don't give two flying flips who like it and who don't. Listen, I did not come to placate the territory. I came to take dominion, right? The kingdom of God is at hand. And for too long, we've been looking at the kingdom of God, sensing the kingdom of God, smelling the kingdom of God, but we ain't going to taste it. We ain't going to experience it. And there's a spirit of I'm good that rests upon this territory, but not just this territory. It rests in churches all around the world, and I'm good. I'm comfortable. Look, it is what every week is the same routine. Every week is the same thing. This is not an indictment against the church, but this is a challenge to the church. And we are the church. Yes. So those of us who have been outside of the four walls for an extended period of time, you will find yourself being set into walls where you have a singular assignment, and that assignment is to awaken the beast. And I'm not talking about the beast that's in the enemy, but I'm talking about that valiant warrior that rests inside the bellies of the children of God. Wake up! I got to comfort, sing the same songs, say the same prayers, preach the same sermons, not leaving room for God to move. Go ahead, I know you got to get it. We've got to do better. God has need of us. And when you understand that God has need of us, then maybe, just maybe then. Now, look, the truth is, we could have done the conference with no musicians, right? They could have sang the song 2 tracks. But that ain't what God told me. That ain't what God told me. Now, the other truth is, I didn't know how I was going to pay him. Because the workman is worthy of his wages. You understand? Like, even though, listen, even though, if I really needed them and could not pay them, they would have done it for me because they know that it was God. But listen, the same way I know that I'm worthy of my wages, they're worthy of their wages. And I don't know what this thing is. And I get it. But I want to address this. I don't know why it is that people want to, and I know some musicians, yes, some musicians do price gouge because of the need, right? Some of them do. But look, can I just tell you something? It is not just an easy thing. And I know people think it's just easy. I'm not a musician, but I'm just telling you what I feel from God, that it is not just an easy thing to have to get with the preaching, the atmosphere of different ministries. You gotta, balance a lot of things, right? And then this is the other thing. You gotta balance also recognizing when some things ain't God and still being able to serve as unto the Lord, not unto the person, right? So look, I understand that it is not light work. You gotta hear the same messages. You gotta hear dry bones moving and clinking and clanking, but you still gotta do it. Look, I just am glad that there was something that we could say or something that we could do that blessed them, right? Beyond the money, because what I know is they're not hirelings. Hirelings just do it for the money. They're not hirelings. They're servants of God, for real servants of God. And so I honor that. See, this is why God knew he couldn't give me certain gifts. Because
you be that person.
Everybody would be shouting.
One thing I love about certain musicians is that they know how to flow with the Spirit.
Yes.
And what Lonnie did Saturday was flow with the Spirit, because there were a couple of times that he could have lit it up the way everybody just running around, but then it would have taken away from what God was really doing.
Yeah.
It's good, and I'm not discounting shout. I'm not gonna step every now and then, but it's not about that. Because at the end of the day, when you stop shouting and you sit down and you huffing and puffing, what has been deposited? Nothing. You just burned off some calories and sweat. Mm-hmm. Let us now set the atmosphere for the Spirit to move, so God can do that internal work that needs to be done, and not just make you feel good for a little bit.
Listen,
I might a little gravy every now and then. That's gravy, but I need some meat and potatoes. I mean, fish and potatoes, because I don't eat the meat, but
I eat the meat. She can get a meat to me.
Hey. So
it really did, and they really did, and this is why I honor people and their gifts. Angel number 166. I need you to write some numbers down, girl.
You didn't say that. If you had said that, I would have been writing.
Where's the pen, girl? Where's the pen? Hold on. Let me grab the pen, because there's something that God is saying in these numbers. There's something that God is trying to let us know. We had 111, 144. 160. Oh, it was 1772. Listen, I done missed some stuff. You probably did. 155. We had 155 too. Listen, this is what I'm gonna tell y'all. There's something that God is doing in this season, and it's different. It is a new thing. When he says, "Behold, I do a new thing, shall it not spring forth?" It's springing forth, and there is no room. Hear me, y'all, when I say this. There is no room for baseless competition. There's no competition in the kingdom. There are enough lost people who are desperately in need of a move of God, where it ain't gotta be no competition. I don't compete with nobody but me. I'm my competition, being the best version of me. That's the only competition that I have. So we can't allow the enemy to create this false competition. It's false. It's from the enemy. The only competition you have is the last version of you, to be a better version of you. That's the only challenge that you should face. See, we can all win together. It's enough out here for everybody to win big. And it doesn't, April winning doesn't infringe on me. Me winning doesn't infringe on her. If anything, it allows us to come together and do things together to create greater impact in the kingdom. And you also got to watch people, because let me tell you some things that people will do. Sometimes it's inadvertently and sometimes it's intentional. People will try to pit you against each other. People will try to blow your head up and say, oh, well, you know, you better than this person, or when you did this better than that person. It's not about that. It's about us uplifting one another, building one another up, coming alongside one another and helping one another to help people get to where it is they need to get to. There are people who are going to hear my voice, but they've heard my voice so much, I know they need to hear another voice say what I already said. Not mad because you heard it when somebody else said it. I needed you to hear it. You understand? So if that means that I've said something multiple times and April comes along and says the same thing and it produces, one plants, one waters, and God gets the increase. It's about God getting the increase. All I want is God to get the increase, whatever that looks like. And I'm going to tell y'all this because I think this is important for us to know. Our choices and our actions in situations can shift what God was doing. I want y'all to hear me. Our choices and our actions can shift what God was doing. There will be times that God will send you help, but the way you handle situations will cause him to say, you're not ready for that. You're not going to be able to handle that. That's not going to work. So let me not even do that. Okay. So we've got to understand that I have to check me. Listen, this ain't even about nobody. Y'all can think I'm trying to throw stuff. I'm not. I'm serious about this because we don't understand this all the time. And sometimes we mistakenly think that God didn't say something that he said, but how we responded or what we did or how we did. Listen, we'll shift things. And I'm talking to me. Let me just talk to me for a minute. Let me talk to me about me for a minute. Look, there have been times when I know that I heard God say something. Maybe something happened. Maybe I didn't receive something well. Maybe I felt a type of way, whatever. And it shifted what God was doing because he knew that what was meant to be a blessing was going to become a problem. Before he'll allow it to become a problem, he'll do something different. And this is why I flow the way I flow and I move the way I move. Because let me tell y'all something. One thing that I have consistently encountered in the church is this. People thinking that I'm trying to take their ministry or take over their ministry or be more important than them in their ministry. Before I allow that to arise, I will go the other way. Because I never want to create any type of division in the work that God is doing. And if you see that your presence is creating division, you need to exit. You understand what I'm telling you? That's maturity. That's spiritual maturity. It's not, I wasn't trying to do that. No. If you see that division is being created, or it looks like division is going to start, you need to go the other way, because it is better. It is better to maintain a relationship for the kingdom than to create a problem that destroys a relationship. Yeah. I'm just trying to help somebody today, because if you walk heavy in spiritual gifts, that can easily happen. And sometimes it's not that the people are wrong. Sometimes you really are doing that. You understand what I'm telling you? So that's why we got to always check us. We got to always check us, check our heart. Yeah. We got to always check our heart. Yeah. When I go to Fresh Start Ministries, I don't go to Fresh Start Ministries as Apostle Dr. Veronica Johnson. I go to Fresh Start Ministries and I sit down and I serve. And if God gives me a word, I'm going to ask permission from the leader of the house to release the word. And if the leader of the house says, no, I'm not going to release it and I'm not going to feel no type of way. Y'all understand what I'm saying? See, we've got to grow in our maturity because otherwise we will get overwhelmed and we will allow our overwhelm to overtake us. April.
What you were saying about recognizing if something is about to take place in a ministry. I was in a ministry like that before, and it was before I really had come into acceptance and understanding of who I am. But evidently they saw it, and then it started to cause problems and things, and shots were being fired at me, and I'm like, well, what did I do? I'm just here to serve. I'm just here. I just want to help take this to the next level. I'm not looking for nothing. Like, I don't need to be up front. I don't need to be recognized. That's not who I am. But because of that, and at first I was a little upset, like, what's going on? I'm not doing anything. But then when God began to break it down for me, I said, okay, then I need to go. Yes. Because I don't want this to fester and then into something else and now infiltrate this ministry. And then it affect, because that can affect people's walk with God, because they can see this, they'll pick up on it, and then so now it's making them think, well, wait a minute, what's going on? Why am I following God? Is this what it's going to be like? So to keep those that were, some of them were babes in Christ, still growing, some were, had been in for a minute, I just bowed out. Like, you know what? I didn't come for this. I didn't come to start no ruckus. And then as the time passed, and it wasn't even long, then God began to show me why I had to go and the reason why. And they saw what was in me before I did, and it was agitating them. Yes. So I'm like, oh, okay, I got to go. So,
yes, Fontelay.
Yeah.
Might say yes, because sometimes your gifts intimidate others when you're only doing what God has told you to do. Absolutely.
Absolutely. You're
but
right.
See, this is where maturity comes in. Y'all, it's time for us to grow up. The enemy has used these tricks and these tools for long enough. And then what it does is it gives the person that has the gifts that's just trying to serve, it makes them say, forget the church.
Yeah.
And that's what the enemy wants. The enemy wants to disconnect us so that we will not be connected to the church, or we'll find ourselves doing what the people in the church do to us, to them. See, I had to check myself because I realized that I was doing to the church people what they were doing to me. These religious people, they super religious. They got a form of godliness denying the power thereof. It's the same thing, y'all. We've got to respond with love. Love is the key, and love is the answer to everything, right? So if you love God enough, if you love yourself enough, if you love your brothers and sisters enough, you'll try to avoid walking in offense. This is the next thing. Let me talk about the spirit of offense, because it is one of the number one tools that the enemy uses to divide the body of Christ, okay? You are offended because someone said or did something or didn't say or didn't do something. If you feel yourself being offended, go get clarity.
Absolutely.
Go get clarity. Have a conversation. Don't just assume.
Yeah.
Have a conversation. Listen to them and what they have to say. Say what you have to say. And then, even if you have to disconnect in love. I know I agitate people, places, and situations. My presence just agitates. I don't have to say nothing. My presence agitates. I am an agitator.
That is fact.
But when God sends me to a place, the agitation is necessary. Because many times the agitation comes to break up complacency.
Right.
We can get complacent. And the fact of the matter is that we all have room to grow. We all have more to know. There are always greater mysteries that God is desiring to reveal to us, greater levels that he's trying to take us to. So what does he do when he wants to do that? He sends in an agitator. The problem is many times the frustration gets directed at the agitator instead of the one who sends the agitator. So it means that you got to be able to, if you are an agitator and you know that God uses you as an agitator, because every time you end up going someplace, everything gets agitated. If you are an agitator, put agitator in the comments, because I want to know who I'm talking to. Where are the agitators at? The ish starters at? And I'm not talking about randomly starting ish, but I'm talking about seems like every time you turn around, your presence has just started some ish.
Well, I'm glad I'm not that atmosphere shifter. I'm not. No.
You don't think you agitate atmospheres? Okay, how you gonna shift it if you don't agitate it?
Well, I am, because everywhere I go, stuff can become a ruckus. Say what? You'll get ready to say something, Slay.
I wasn't going to say nothing to that. Listen, Whitfield said an agitator is needed to remove the dirt from unclean laundry. Ooh. Exactly. And now they got even the washers that don't have the agitator in the middle. Mm-hmm. They have some kind of motion that still agitates. Yes, Summerlin, you are an agitator. Come on. Now, I want to talk to my agitators. Yes, Shamika. Come on, where the agitators at? Because there's a word for the agitators. Come on. We the only agitators on here?
All four of us?
I know you.
Lying. Some of y'all undercover. Y'all might as well come clean.
We agitate.
Okay, here we go. Oh, okay.
Hey, Natasha, how are you, beautiful? So listen, agitators, let me say this to us. See, I'm talking to us. Let me say this to us. We, I like how I did that. We have to do self-checks and self-inventories to make sure that we not just agitating for the sake of agitating. We have to make sure that our heart and our motives are pure. Now, when your heart and your motives are pure and you're not doing things out of offense, because agitators can get offended. Yes. Listen, you got to constantly stay in a state of checking you. Okay? Because y'all, this whole journey is about us checking us. It's not about you knowing what everybody else need to do and pointing to them about what they need to do. Listen, no. You got to deal with you. So anytime you hear a message, you got to see, God, is this me? God, show me me. So that you can deal with you and even see the things that are not pretty about you.
Absolutely.
Because we also all have things that are not pretty about us. We all have things that will show up in us. But we have to be accountable for facing those, identifying where they came from, and addressing it. God is trying to grow us up. Allowing yourself to become overwhelmed is simply yet another trauma response to not feeling good enough.
Wow.
Not feeling perfect enough. And so we get overwhelmed because we feel like what we do is not going to be enough. So you got to deal with that because we don't have time to stay in those places. We don't have time to have the same responses. We don't have time for that. It is time to grow up.
Right.
Go ahead, April. I feel you.
I just off like that.
Because you wouldn't expect
it. You know what? what Dr. V said about constantly checking ourselves is so important. Yeah. And you said the very phrase that I have said to God frequently: God, show me. Because I want to make sure my spirit is pure and right when I prophesy to people, when I preach, when I do anything. I want to make sure my motives are right. I want to make sure that I'm not coming out of flesh, like I'm not coming out my emotions or my feelings. So those agitators, we have to make sure we stay on the up and up with our spirit being clean. Yeah. Because you can go in and do some damage.
Yes.
Like, we have the power to do some damage. Yes. And I'm not talking about, good stuff. We have the power to make some stuff happen, just stuff. Yeah. So if we don't have ourselves together, we constantly are before the Lord and checking ourselves, that spirit gets all clogged and it gets all grimy and it gets all dirty. And then we're operating out of, I don't know,
manipulation.
And I don't ever want to do that. Don't ever want to do that. So I always want to make sure you always just allow God to do what he's going to do, because it's not always going to be pretty for us. So if something has infiltrated our spirit and we may not be aware of it or for sure of it, God's going to show us. That's and right. Allow him to do the work, because it's not just for you, it's for the people that you are going to affect.
That's right.
It's for the people that you're going to be around, those that you're going to come in contact with. And you want to make sure you help them, not hurt them, not harm them, and not send them 10 steps back. You don't ever want to do that.
Listen, I'm gonna tell y'all something. When Whitfield was here, we were talking about this church I had when I was in Tampa, and he served with me in that ministry. And some things happened in that ministry, y'all. And I'm gonna tell y'all one thing about me. I don't like being tried, especially not when I have poured out and sold and given of me. I'm not just talking about money or resources. I'm talking about of me, of who I am, right? So I remember we had a meeting. They wanted to have a meeting with me. They called a meeting. And we sitting at the table in my conference room in the house. And it was like all of these things. And you. I sat there. Okay. Let y'all say what you need to say. And then I said what I needed to say. And I didn't say it with nice, pretty words. It was some cuss words in it. Okay. But what you're not finna do is come for me. But see, some people would say that, oh, well, you don't hear people, okay? And maybe I didn't hear everything. And maybe I couldn't see everything about me. But there's a way that if you come to me, I'm going to check me. Now that I'm going to do. I'm going to check me. I'm going to examine me. But see, what happened in that season was the enemy was sending a lot of shots at me, right? In a time when I was extremely vulnerable. I was separated from my husband. I was getting ready to get a divorce. Listen, I was trying to live my life. But God keeps me honest, because what God would require me to do is confess publicly. I would have to do public confessions. And that'll keep you a little calm, okay? Because you're going to have to tell it.
Right.
I remember one time I had gone out and I just, and the next morning I had to preach and he said, confess. I said, I know you lied. I'm not going to tell these people that I was out starting the night before. I know you lied. He said, no, confess. I said, this God that I serve, it's going to keep me honest, right? And I did. See, I have had to learn how to recognize what is legitimate and what is being used as an attack from the enemy, right? There are times that legitimately I need to be checked. Do you understand what I'm telling you? I am not above being checked. I am not above reproach. I am not above it. But there are times when people will use things that the enemy knows is a sensitive spot to try to dig in and twist to cause you to walk away from your assignment. Well, guess what? The enemy had to catch me in the past season for that to work. Because in this season, it won't work.
Amen.
In this season, I'm not budging. In this season, oh, you can be mad. You can talk about me. You can say all manner of evil against me falsely. Because I'm going to tell the truth on me.
Yeah.
If it's one thing that people who know me know, is if I'm being petty, I'm going to say, yes, I'm being petty. Do I say that?
Yes.
I recognize it. It's not that I'm oblivious to it. If I'm being petty, I mean to be petty. I'm not accidentally being petty. I'm being petty on purpose. Everything I do is on purpose. It's about my purpose, okay? So I just have to learn, and listen, I'm telling y'all, this is why God has me be as real and raw as I am, because angel number 188, we've been faking the church long enough. We've been walking around faking it, having fake friendships, fake supporting people, just fake.
Yep.
We've been fake long enough. God said it's time for some real to show up. It's time for us to be real with ourselves and real with one another. The problem is, y'all, I'm just going to be honest with you. Most people don't like the real. How dare you be real? How dare you say that to me? It's why y'all, I'm trying to help somebody understand me. I just want y'all to understand me so y'all can know where I'm coming from. So that if you ever have a question, then you can just come ask me, because I will tell you. See, the thing about this journey for me is, first of all, I did not like the church and church people. I did not. God has had to give me love for the church and church people because I see too much and I see too clearly. So I'm looking, and this is why some people don't mess with me, because I see. I'm looking and I see. And I hear conversations. I see for real. This ain't no game. I see for real. God shows me stuff for real. So I see. And I choose when I say. So by the time I say something, I've been done seen it. I know that ain't good English, but I'm saying what I'm saying. I've been done seen it.
Been done seen it.
Okay?
Seen it.
But everything I see, it's not for me to say. Some stuff I gotta wait because it's not the time. Some stuff I might not ever say, but I know. And people don't always understand that. So let me just help y'all just a little bit understand me and why I do what I do. Now, I know y'all might be saying, because I've heard this before, you know, I've been hearing conversations. Why everything got to be about her? Because y'all too freaking sensitive for me to say it and say it in a way where you could think I'm talking about you. So I'm going to just talk about me, okay? Because I ain't going to be mad at me for talking about me, okay? I even have to be careful with my husband, right? I can't always talk about him because, like, no, let me talk about me, okay? I'm talking about me. So, because I see stuff, because I know stuff, because I'm an agitator, because of all those things, I know that when it comes to dealing with people, there are times when I can say stuff and times when I can't. And I'm in a season right now, and I need y'all to understand this, so when I say something to you, you'll know that it's not personal. I'm in a season right now where I'm calling people out on their BS because you've been BSing for too long. You've been making excuses for too long. You've been stuck in the same place for too long. So you're not getting it softly. I'm always going to try to start with the soft approach. I'm always going to try to sandwich it. I'm going to give you a positive and then some constructive and then another positive. I'm always going to try to sandwich it. I'm going to try to sandwich it. But let me tell y'all something. People will take your sandwiches, eat your sandwiches, and then throw up on you. So listen, I'm just telling y'all. So now what I have to do in the season that I'm in is I have to say tough stuff. But I'm saying it from a place of love. But it's the truth.
Yeah.
It's real. I remember one time, April, we were in a class or something. Can I talk about you for a second?
Absolutely.
Okay. I got to get permission. Listen, we were in a class and April was saying, well, you know, I feel like I'm good. And I just looked. And she said, well, I don't really feel like there's anything that I need to. I feel like I'm good. And I just looked. I just looked. I just looked.
Did you start rocking and rubbing your legs?
I probably did. Y'all know if I'm rocking and rubbing my legs, but there's something that's brewing on the inside that I'm trying to decide if it's going to come out on the outside. Because it will bring about a change, okay? And I looked at her, right? And I said, no, you're not. There's more. And you got to go deeper.
Yeah.
And she looked at me like, and she was like,
right.
Silence. But everything in her, this is what was going through her head. I know you're lying. I know she didn't just embarrass me like that, put me on the spot. I know I'm good, God. I've been working. I've been working on me. I've been working on me, God. I've come a long way. And she had come a long way. She had. I wasn't taking anything away from the work that she had already done or where she was even. But listen, don't ever get it twisted and think you're already there and that you have arrived. The moment you think that you have arrived and you prohibit God from being able to do what he really wants to do in your life, I'm not there. I'll be the first one to tell you that I am not there. Listen, there are things that still reside in me. They reside there. It's not every now and then they show up. They still reside there. Listen, this work of sanctification is an ongoing process. It doesn't happen one time and it's over, one time and it's done. It's an ongoing process. And the problem is that many times in the church, we get to the point where we think that we have arrived. We think that we figured it out. We think that we got it, and we don't.
Just keep the whole
Oh, God. See, God is calling for a people who will purge. Corinne said, I remember that class. I think everybody's had, angel number 188, I think everyone's had that moment with me. That moment where you don't know if you want to cuss me out, punch me in the throat, or hug me. Like I love you, but I really right now want to punch you in the throat and cuss you out and hug you later. But it's because I'm an agitator and an educator. So the agitation comes for the educational moment, right? There are these moments where you have the opportunity, Kareem said, I know I have. I know you have too, baby. I know. And I'm big enough to handle it. See, I don't take it personally. There was a time when I used to take that stuff personally. Now I know that it's a part of my assignment. Somebody got to be the one that's big enough to say the truth, have people be mad at you, want to cuss you out, chop you in the throat, and then hug you later because they really just want you to hold them and say, I know, baby. It's all right. It's going to be okay, baby. It's going to be okay.
You'll make it through.
You're going to get it. You're going to get it. It's okay. I've been there. I've been there. I know. I know. But in that moment, you can't. All you know is she chopped me in the throat. Baby, I wasn't trying to chop you in the throat. I wasn't.
Chop, chop.
I was trying to open you up. That wasn't a chop. That was a tap. Come on. Release it. Release it. It wasn't a chop. Chop is like this. Chop is designed to injure. Taps are designed to release.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
You can't take these personal. Right, Jason? Kareem said, and I hold you with the same realness too. Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's the truth. I'm talking about dunking on people. Listen, but that's what life is about. That's what it's about. That's what life is about. See, For too long, leaders have been the only ones who could see anything or say anything. And I'm not telling y'all to go tell y'all pastors what they need to do, because you will get chopped in the throat. I ain't talking about tapped. I'm talking about chopped. Okay? Don't do it. That's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is that if you see something, there's a reason that you see it. And it means that you need to pray about it. Everything you see, you don't have to say. Some things you can just pray about, right? And allow God, especially when you're dealing with people in positions of authority over you, right? If you pray, God will reveal a thing to them so that they can either choose to walk in the correction or not, right? But God is going to hold them accountable. And then someone will come who will be in a position to say what it is that you see, but you can't say. Angel number 199. Let me go on and look that one up. Let me look that one up. Let me look that one up. Angel number 199. I just, y'all, I'm telling y'all, there are some things that God is doing in this season that are designed to help you and not hurt you. It's designed to help you and not hurt you. But we'll take what's meant to help and think it's sent to hurt. We'll take what's meant to help and think it's sent to hurt. So we'll cancel it out. We'll invalidate it. We'll say that there's no basis for it, that it has no purpose, when that's absolutely not the truth. Angel number 199 represents primarily two things. One is a new beginning, and more strongly, an ending of certain aspects of your life. It wants to communicate to you that angels want your attention and that you listen to your intuition, and you're going to receive messages from your soul mission, right? What you are called to do. It is a celestial promise of transformation. It heralds the beginning of an exciting new chapter in life, brimming with endless possibilities. Have you ever received revelation about people cheating on their spouse?
Just walk back in on that.
If so, how do you handle that, and why would God tell me that? You pray. You pray. You just pray. Just pray. And I'm going to tell you why I say that. Marriage is a tricky thing. Marriage is a tricky thing. And people often can't handle the truth. And they're not going to do anything with the truth. So you telling them only brings to their conscious awareness something that they already know. Pray. Pray that God will give them guidance and direction in what to do and how to handle it. Hey, sis. I've had to tell my leaders what the Lord showed me, but I was hesitant at first, but I gave them what God gave me and they received it well. Yeah, but sis, this is the thing. You're called to be the prophet to the house. See, this is what we got to be careful of. There are people that are called to be prophets to the house, right? And when you walk in that office, that's your assignment. That's your assignment. And pastors and prophets can get along, but sometimes they don't. So that was your assignment. You had to do it. When you're a prophet, if God tells you to do it, you have to do it. But everything he shows you is not for you to do. But you knew that you had to do it because you didn't want to do it. The truth of the matter is most real prophets don't want to have to say the stuff that they have to say. I'm proud of you, though, sis, because that's necessary. Leaders need, to know that they've got some people in their life that love them, who carry that prophetic gift and walk in that office, who will tell them what God is saying. Because sometimes we all have what's known as a blind spot, something we can't see that other people can see. We can't see it, though. It's a blind spot. Just like when you're driving, you got a blind spot where a car can be in your blind spot and you not see it, and you go to get over and you hit that car because it was in your blind spot. But somebody else could see that spot. So that, okay? So you got to know that. That's good, sis. That's good. Yes, you are. Stop it. No, I'm not. I said you called to be the prophet to the house. She said, no, I'm not. That's what a prophet would say.
Exactly.
Corinne said, oh, okay. I get what you're saying now. Pray for them. Absolutely. Prophet Tammy says, so true. Yes. How do you differentiate between what God wants you to do and to pray? Pray first. And if he wants you to do it, he'll let you know to do it. He'll tell you.
And he'll provide the opportunity for you to do it. And when the opportunity is provided, he will unction you to do it right there. He'll bring it to you just like that. He will. I'm sorry, this your job.
No, it ain't.
I'm just a guest.
No, you're not.
But that's true. He will let you know. He will let you know exactly when. He'll open the door. He'll bring it to your remembrance, and then he'll lead you into it. You just let him talk.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
I'm just sitting here just feasting because now I have a greater understanding of me and why I've been in places that I've been and done the things that I do. Like I don't go to try to mess up anything. I just go in and every time it's just a disruption. But being confident in who you are in God, that is so key. So before I wouldn't be that way, wouldn't be confident. But now I know who I am. I'm very confident in my offices that I walk in. So I'm not going to be swayed, but I'm also going to remain humble. And I actually have not been all the way obedient because when I moved to Texas and I went to my cousin's church,
I told her
2 days in a row, God gave me a word for the house.
I told her that.
And I'm like, I'm sitting there having an all-out conversation. God, I don't know these people. This pastor don't know me.
I told her.
And then after service, I told my cousins that I had a word for the house. And they said, well, you should have gone to pastor. He's not that person. You could have gone and said, I have this word, and then boom, he lets you give it. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah. When the guy said, none of us are perfect. We all fall short. Be able to receive as well as give, pray and grow. Yes, yes, yes. My sister said, I'm more of a dreamer, and God will give me something while lying in bed, and I can't move. Like I'll be paralyzed until God finished showing me. Yeah. But I've had to tell several leaders what God showed me. Absolutely. You walk heavy in the office
There's going
of the prophet. Yeah.
See, you got to, Marquita, you got to.
Girl, listen, I just need you to know how much April love you.
I do.
Like,
for
April,
me not to have met you, you got, okay, listen.
Oh my God.
You got to come to Texas, all right? You got to come to Texas because we have not been able to get together at all. You have got to come to Texas. There is a reason you and I need to be together face to face. I don't know what it is. I've been feeling it strong for some months now. I never said anything. But you and I need to get together, like physically. She
loves some Marquita, baby. She loves some Marquita. Baby, I'm trying to tell you. Honey, we were talking about you and talking about Marquita need to be here. Marquita need to be here. Marquita's supposed to be doing this. Marquita's supposed to be doing. Listen, she loves her some you. Yeah. And I love that God has connected you guys. Like, I love that. Like, that to me is an amazing and incredible gift because, y'all, that's my sister. I love my sister. My sister is so freaking anointed. She is so freaking anointed. Like, it just
dripping, oozing out of every pore. And you have not even tapped into it. You don't even walk in it like you should. And this is why the paralyzation happens. Because he's like, you're not going to be still long enough for me to put this in you. Because you're going to say, oh, no, Lord, not me.
I'm not doing that.
Say, oh, okay, that's what you say? Okay, well, let me just lay you flat where you can't move. Hey. And I'm going to put it in there anyway, so you cannot deny it. So I'm going to need you because it's going to increase. It's only, you know, when you fill up a balloon with water, after a certain point of filling and filling and filling, when it's stretched to the limit, it's going to explode. It's going to stretch so far, and then it's going to explode from the pressure and the weight of the water that's in it. the anointing that you carry, the prophetic that you carry, you're going to try to be quiet, and it's just going to build up and build up, and then you just go slow. You don't want that.
Yeah.
You don't want that.
Yeah. Yeah. But I love it. I'm telling you, I love it. You're so welcome, Kareem. Jackie said, I'm one that talks myself out of saying what God says because I worry about how it will be received. And listen, this is why people end up being connected to me, because I'm the one. Before April went to that church, I said, God is going to give you a word for the house. Give it. I said, God is going to give, because God had already shown me. I said, God is going to give you a word for the house. Give it.
Yep.
Now, all you can do is try to give it. If they reject it, then they reject it. But see, we don't want to do it because we don't want to be rejected, because we take that personal. They're not rejecting you. They're rejecting God. Because if you have the Spirit of God, you recognize when it's God speaking, right? You recognize it. See, that's why I do what I do. If God give me a word, I'm gonna give that word. And y'all can take it or leave it. And when I ask permission, if you say no, I'm gonna respect that and honor it, and I'm gonna sit down. But I did what God said. Jason said, I was once in the same position. The gift I have, I see things that some prophets can't see. When I share them with the individual, because God says to, I got rebuked and not ever speak again. But when God says share, I still do. Yeah.
And he is not lying, because he shared some stuff with me about me that I thought only me knew, some deep stuff. And I was like, wait a minute, what? What? So he real.
Oh, well, I love you guys. And yes, I'll do. Yeah. Y'all, I'm just telling y'all, it's like, if you could think of, it's like my sister and I have so much in common. We're just so much alike, but she got the singing. Okay. Now I love to sing, but the sound is a joyful noise unto the Lord, even if it ain't a joyful noise to nobody else. But she really, I'm talking about, she opens heaven up.
Ooh.
She opens heaven up. Well, and I don't say that lightly, and I don't say that just because she's my sister. No, she opens heaven up. Mm-hmm. There's a sound that God is looking for that, like, when it's released, it automatically opens heaven. Mm-hmm. That's my sister. That's my sister, baby. I'm trying to tell y'all, that is my sister. Mm-hmm. That's what she does when she's out. Listen, I don't care what nobody say. My sister opens heaven up when she sings.
She does. And I heard her on a video. I've not been in her presence. I'll be in the floor for real. Yeah. But on a video, I heard her singing, and I was like doing stuff and listening, and I literally had to sit down like, wait a minute, what?
Okay, hold on, and I'm finna mess y'all up for real. That's with one lung.
Stop it.
And that one ain't even 100%. That's with one lung.
And you?
That's with one lung. Wow. And the other one ain't 100%.
Wow. And she was in some notes that I made.
Am I lying, sis? Because what I even think I remember her saying about the other lung is it's not even.
Oh my God.
50%?
Oh
maybe
my God.
50, 60? I don't know. Sis, you tell them. It's your story. She said, yeah, I've been told that before many times, and that's to God be all the glory. If people knew the story about my... That's why I just dropped it right there. One had a hole and the other one was damaged. She had a hole in her lung. I had a hole in my heart.
And you can belt out like, you know,
girl.
That's the anointing. That's straight anointing right there.
Because, listen, I'm telling y'all, God looks to use people as living examples of miracles. Listen, we think that miracles stopped because the apostles no longer walked the earth. When Jesus said, greater works than these shall you do, he meant that. And that's for us too. Yes. Natasha, welcome back, baby. You ready, baby, for your live? You look so... Your head hurting?
You need to shake that
up. Huh? No, we're not going to shoot you. Oh, with a shot. Okay. You make it plain, baby. Make way.
Now make this good, because this is my last day seeing you do this. I'm gonna have to imagine it. Yeah. Oh, you said too, Tim. Oh,
that's what's wrong with it. Hey, baby.
Oh. You need that, right?
Come on.
Whoa. He's like,
come on, your head is hurting.
That's a shame.
I wish y'all could see. I wish I could see him.
Oh, no, pop back.
That was a little bit extra.
I love you, babe. Yeah. So, you know, I see this is, I don't know. I'm grateful to God. I'm so grateful for everything concerning my life. And people don't understand, but sometimes I just get emotional just about my life and what God has done in my life and through my life and how God has moved and I'm grateful. I'm grateful for my sister. And I know that can seem strange because we didn't grow up together, you know? And sometimes people don't understand, but I'm really grateful for my sister. And we don't talk all the time, but I'm grateful for her. I'm grateful for the gift that she is and the gift that God has deposited in her. And for her sons, for her grands, for my brother. Like, I'm grateful. I'm grateful. And even though it hasn't always been the easiest, just because the whole situation is just complicated, you know? It's worth it to me. It's worth it to me. It's worth it to me. I can remember, and she laughed at me when I told her this, but I can remember, and I can show you on my phone, the pictures that I took when I found out that that was my family. I went through and I went on everybody's Facebook page and I would pull up the pictures and I just would look at them and I would be like, that's my sister. You know, such a proud big sister. Like, that's my sister. And my sister is beautiful. And like, it's been a lot, but it's been absolutely worth it. I kept all the pictures in my phone because it documented my journey of finding my family. And you see it, April, you see all the trees and the census stuff and trying to figure out who people were. And there's my daddy that raised me. This is the screenshot of daddy's page where he had all of his children on it. And I would go to the pages and some of them didn't have a page, but he just put them on there. Mm-hmm. My grandmother, and then there's my sister. Like picture after picture of my sister. Y'all, I can't make it up.
It's right there. In color.
That's my sister. The many faces and looks of Marquita. And I remember just looking at them and feeling sad that I was not there to be a big sister. That I wasn't there when she was growing up. I wasn't there when she got married. I wasn't there when she had kids. You know, just that I wasn't there. Jason said, woman of God, I'm so grateful for and what he has blessed me over the years. A beautiful future wife that fears him and life itself. I know I haven't arrived yet because it's a process and a learning journey. I long for such a time as this. I wouldn't trade it for nothing in the world. I know that's right, Jason. My sister said, oh, wow, I love you. But you're here now. Absolutely. And that's why I try not to take things for granted. You know, listen, you ain't gone through nothing till you done tried to blend a family when everybody grown. That's a whole, that's a whole thing. That's a whole thing. Mike says, say it, Jason. Yeah. Y'all, I don't want you to get overwhelmed. Don't get overwhelmed by life. Don't let it overtake you. Don't let the overwhelm, whether it's you're overwhelmed about all of the good things that are happening to you, or you're overwhelmed because you know that it's stressful and there you don't know. Don't let the overwhelm overtake you, because guess what? The word of God is clear. It says this: be anxious for nothing, but in all things with prayer and supplication, make your requests known. And then just rest in it. Know that he who began a good work in you is faithful and just to bring it to completion until the coming of Christ. You got this, because God's got you. You got this, because God's got you. He has given us authority. We have authority to speak to anything and require it to line up with the word and the will of God.
That's right.
Trust it.
That's right.
You just got to trust it, no matter what it looks like. Jason said, I won't let it overwhelm me. I'm just grateful. And that's the key, being grateful in the midst of what's going on in your life. Finding the gift in whatever's going on in your life. There's always gifts in everything that you go through. Find the gifts in it so that you can be in a place of gratitude. That's why I had to come back. Yes, April is leaving, but I'm so happy and grateful that I had a chance to spend this time with her, that she had a chance to hang out with us, and that we've started something.
Yeah.
You know? See, the next time she'll be coming with her husband, and they'll come and stay, and we'll do some couple stuff and have fun building bonds, right? Because that's what it's about. I prayed and I said, God, I want some friends that I can do life with as couples. God sent me a group of single women to help prepare them for the men that he would send for them. And then built in the very thing that I asked for.
Yeah.
But it started with a group of single women who were seeking God, who wanted to grow and were ready to grow. And watch what I tell you. This core group that's like this with me, all getting ready to be married. Okay?
Facts.
All of them getting ready to be married. I know they be talking about it. In 24, I know you learn. It's gonna be a whole lot of marrying going on in 23. I know, I just be listening. I'm like, okay. Okay. Because I've learned to just let people take their journey. But I'm grateful. I'm so happy and grateful that God brought you in my life.
I am too.
I'm so happy and grateful that I get to be to you and pour into you all the things I wish I'd had as I've just gone through this journey, you know, that I can help you get a leg up.
You know, I'm appreciative too. And like I told you probably a week or two ago, that I hate that you had to go through the stuff that you did, but at the same time, I'm appreciative because I see just how much we are alike. And this is why I'm obedient to what God gives you and you tell me, because I know it is not for me to be stagnant or go backwards. It's definitely for me to move forward and at a rapid rate.
That's right.
That's the thing. It's happening so fast because I'm being obedient.
Yes.
And I'm appreciative. You have no idea how much I love you. You will never be able to get rid of me. I don't care how.
Well, I love you too, girl.
I'm going to be real. Oh, you being petty today? I'm going to give you your moment. And I'm going to call you later. And you better answer that phone too.
And I will. Girl, listen, it's an amazing thing. It's an amazing thing. Value the people that God places in your life. People don't have to be nice to you. You know, appreciate it. You know, I have had to, listen, everybody can't tell me what to do. I'd be like, God gotta come down. You ain't gotta come down, but God got to tell me, right? But God has placed some people in my life that Like, I gotta know that you mean me good. You know, I gotta know that you mean me good. Um, but God has been teaching me to open up and allow myself to be led.
Ooh, is that hard to say?
Yes.
You feel so?
Yes.
Oh.
I sound like my grandson. Yes. Yes.
It's okay.
Yes. My husband told me, he said, so one day, I said, I'm going to trust you, babe. He said, yeah, one day you're going to trust me. And not trust him like, think he's going to cheat or anything like that, but trust that he got me and trust what he said. Because we were talking about these smothered pork chops. And he loved gravy. He's a gravy person. His shrimp and grits got gravy. He want to smother stuff, smother chicken, smother pork chops. I just be like,
smothered.
Like a smothering. But baby, he smothered them pork chops. I said, did you leave some record on the towel, babe? Did you leave some record? He was like, no. I said, okay. Okay. So he gonna come back there. He said, I'm gonna show her being petty. So he brought some back there for me to try. I said, oh God, let me try
that. Like, oh, okay. Maybe it's smothering.
Hey, that's good. And he said, one day.
One day.
One day. So it's a journey and it's a process. And I've got sisters that will check me. April said, Dr. V. I said, what? What? He said, come on, Doc. I said, what? Roll my eye. What you got to say? Dr. V, come on now.
Come on.
I said, what? I said what I said. What?
Okay.
Okay.
Right. That's fine. Okay.
And I'll think about it and I'll be like, well, maybe. Okay. Let me fix it.
Right.
Jason said, Dr. V, it's going to be an honor and pleasure to walk with y'all on this new beginnings and journey with God. April, I love you.
Oh, I love you too.
I love you, brother. Kareen, don't be laughing. Kareen, another one. She'd be like, but Dr. V, could it be? I'd be like, Kareen, I didn't ask you.
Right. So your input is not needed.
Yes. Y'all have beautiful spirits. It's an honor to meet you on here, April.
It's an honor to meet you.
Dr. Shalonda Bell.
Connect with me, Dr. Bell. Connect with me.
Yeah, oh, she gonna connect. I sent her some videos. She
What videos?
The videos.
Oh, the videos. All right.
The videos. All right. Listen, y'all. We thank y'all for sharing this time with us. We're gonna go ahead and get off here so that we can finish our last hours together in person for this visit. But I want you all to know that whether we have met in person or not does not determine whether or not I love you. I love you. I pray God's best for you. I pray that God does exceedingly and abundantly above all that you could think or ask. I know that's Whitfield with the book. I know that has to be David Anthony Whitfield who wrote. You are supposed to be driving, sir. How
you
did you write a book? Okay. Anyway, let me
here. Can you see it on here?
This is for Mr. Jason Yerby. Sir, I had the distinct privilege of being in the presence of your future wife and prophesy to her concerning the both of you. Sir, this journey is one that will honor God and one that will be protected by his encampment. You better prophesy, Whitfield. Oh, let me come back. Okay. I see the men, you and Tim and any other men that are attached to these amazing women began to form our own bond. Can't wait to meet you. Oh, by the way, I'm your photographer for the wedding. You talking about I pulled over. Oh, Evelyn said it was a pleasure meeting you, April. Safe travel home. Love you. Jason said, same here, man of God. Y'all, we're building relationships and connections on the book. I know many people say social media is of the devil, but social media allows people who would not have met necessarily in person the opportunity to connect so that we can do kingdom work. The kingdom of God is at hand, and that requires us to open our eyes and to be obedient to the Spirit of God that we might be able to move forward in manifesting the kingdom on the earth. It is our commission. It is our mandate. We think that it's just about salvation. So salvation is the first part, right? But there's also the process of discipleship and fulfilling the mandate and the purpose and the mission of your life for God. That we might get to our God-given destiny, that might be what we put in our GPS, and that we will honor those that we are able to lock arms with along the way, that we will take the journey and that we will not faint, but we will keep going. And know that just because where you are, you don't have those relationships doesn't mean that you can't have those relationships. Especially if you're international, if you're called to international ministry, you're going to discover that at home, you're really not valued and appreciated. And it's okay. You got to accept that. That's because you're bigger than where you are. And I don't care how big that city is. You're bigger than that. So lock arms with those that God calls you to lock arms with. Do the work of the kingdom and watch God be glorified. Listen, April, tell them how they can follow you.
Oh, on Facebook, I'm April Green Anderson. On Instagram, I'm Lady April 36. Yeah, Lady April 36. And I'm on TikTok and all those other places. But it's Lady April 36 on TikTok. I put stuff up there. Yeah, so God is doing some phenomenal things in my life. So I don't know. I'm going back to Texas now, but
who knows where she's going to be.
I know I'll be in North Carolina next week. I'm moving my son into his dorm at North Carolina Central University Eagles. So I'm excited. I'm excited for what took place this weekend, because this weekend was absolutely amazing, absolutely fulfilling, and God just moved. Above everything else was the worship service on Saturday night, and God doing exactly what He showed me that He was going to do. He did that.
He did do that.
He did do that in that worship service.
Listen, if you guys missed this weekend the I Am Alive conference, listen, you're gonna want that. Literally, you still can go ahead and purchase it. You can purchase the $55 version, and you'll have access to the general and the VIP. You'll be put in the group. You'll be able to watch the videos, go back and watch the videos, take notes from the videos. But I'm telling y'all, God did a great thing. He said, what about the book, April? Tell him.
Oh, so if you go on my Facebook page, but I'll give you the link. So God blessed me to write and publish my first book. And I'm actually working on the other ones. But two things. I published a book. So you can go to bit.ly/intentional you pre-order. I already have a shipment waiting for me in Texas. So what I'm going to do is allow God, for those that purchase the book, allow God to give me a word for them that I will write in the book, and then send it to you. Right now, I'm still doing free shipping. So if you want to do that, God, it's amazing how quickly it happened. And I'm already working on 3 others. And of course, Prophet Whitfield has already given me what else I need to do. But also, in addition to that, God instructed me to teach a master class. It's called Intentionally You Masterclass, and the link is on my page if you would like to register for that, and we'll do some strategy on finding where you need to be. And y'all, I know this is straight from God, because He gave me the entire class and content on the airplane coming here on last Monday. So I said, okay, there's no way I could have put this together myself.
Hey, sis!
So
that's
yeah,
my other sister,
on my page, I posted it last night. The 2 links, one for the book and the other one for the masterclass. Go register. I think I'm doing it August the 28th. That's the first one, and then I will, as God leads me on how frequently to do it, I will. So I would love to have you in that class. I'm excited.
I'm excited too.
Yeah.
Corinne said, "Can you hold hers until later in the month?" You know she's in transition.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, she's in transition.
Absolutely. Just let me know when.
Listen, you guys, look, I just want you to know that we absolutely love you guys to life and life more abundant. Have an amazing, incredible, and epic day. Be blessed. Bye.